Hello and welcome to our virtual presentation for the 8th grade Parent Information Night. My name is Chris Cook and I'm a member of the 8th grade transition team. I'm also a proud parent to a sophomore here at Carlmont and 2 recent graduates from the classes of 2019 and 2020. The 8th grade transition team is a parent volunteer group that represents all of the feeder schools in our community. Each year we host a series of events for both parents and for 8th graders to learn more about what Carlmont has to offer. Our goal is not only to focus on our amazing academic programming, but also tell you about the many other aspects of high school life that await your child. All of Carlmont's programs and services are run by dedicated and hardworking staff and teachers, and that is part of what makes our school so outstanding. In this presentation, you'll hear from Ralph Crane, our principal, who is also a member of the 8th grade transition team, a few key leaders in our community that help run the show, several staff members talking about their focus areas, our counseling services, our college and career center, world languages, PE and athletics, performing arts, visual arts, additional electives offered along with our AVID program, special education, and English language learner programs. The largest portion of our presentation will be the core curriculum department chairs speaking to you about their courses and providing insight about what your 9th grader can expect at Carlmont next year. Everyone involved in making these videos and presentations worked very hard to get you all the information you might need in order to feel comfortable in making your decision on where your 8th grader will attend high school next year. We do offer more events throughout the year for your student and for you to attend. Information can be found on the Carlmont website under 8th grade transition team. In the meantime, enjoy learning more about life at Carlmont from our dedicated parents, teachers, and staff.
Hello, my name is Ralph Crane, and I'm the principal here at Carlmont High School. I want to first thank Chris Cook and the 8th grade transition team for making this event, Parent Information Night, virtual. They usually do a wonderful job in person, providing tours. So shifting to this virtual event created some work, and it was a challenge, but they rose to that challenge, and I want to again thank Chris Cook and the 8th grade transition team for putting all the work into making this such a wonderful event for you and getting information about Carlmont in this time where we are not meeting in person. So thank you again to them. A little bit about myself. I've been working here at Carlmont since 2007. I was administrative vice principal for several years. I was the instructional vice principal for a couple of years, and now this is my 6th year as principal of Carlmont. I've also had 2 of my own kids graduate from Carlmont. My daughter graduated in 2015, and my son graduated in 2019. They both came from smaller schools in Pacifica, graduating class of about 40 students. So those parents and students that are coming from a smaller school, you don't have to worry. The student body here does a wonderful job accepting everybody and making everybody feel welcome here at Carlmont. And so does the staff. The staff does an amazing job as well. They have had their own kids come through Carlmont, or they currently have kids coming to Carlmont as students, and so they understand the importance of making it feel open and welcome and accommodating for students to be successful. These are challenging times, and the shift to distance learning has been different, and I'm hoping we can be in person when your students get here next year. I'm hoping it'll be live 100% instruction and this pandemic is under control. So I want to thank you again for attending our virtual Parent Information Night, and I hope that all your questions are answered. I hope that you have all the information that you need to make an informed decision about where to send your students. And my choice would be to send them here with us because we will definitely take good care of your students here at Carlmont High School. Thank you and welcome.
My name is Michelle Kelly and I am the Carlmont PTSA president. Our PTSA is a vital organization that works with school administrations and staff to enrich the Carlmont community. We bring together parents, teachers, and students to support essential programs like the Student Store and Spirit Wear, Staff Appreciation, the Bagpiper newsletter, SAT prep classes, parent education opportunities, and much more. Our PTSA is committed to our students and families. If we see a need, we fill it. The pandemic brought on a series of challenges, and together with our PTSA, the Carlmont community stepped up. For many years, our PTSA has operated the Carlmont Pantry, providing qualifying students with free nutritional snacks, hygiene items, new clothes, and school supplies. But the closure of our campus in the spring meant our ability to help these students and families in person was no longer available. In response, the PTSA created the Family to Family Fund. Carlmont families can make donations of cash and grocery store gift cards to support our families in need. I'm proud to say that since its creation in the spring, our families have donated more than $20,000 in cash and gift cards. Now that we have some limited access to the campus, the pantry is fully stocked and serving students in need. I am so proud to be part of this community. Taking care of the Carlmont community is always a priority for our PTSA. Like last spring, when it became clear that the traditional graduation celebrations would not happen, our PTSA was determined to make sure the class of 2020 felt the love. We designed, ordered, and distributed 525 lawn signs as a surprise to our graduates. And our PTSA worked with the student leadership group and administration to plan and execute the citywide graduation parade to celebrate the senior class and their families. It was truly a fantastic day, and I heard from so many parents and graduates that it felt even more meaningful than traditional graduation. We're doing great things here at Carlmont, and you're going to want to be part of it. Please visit carlmontptsa.com to learn more about our programs. Go Scots!
Hi, I'm Ula Four, and I'm the president of the Carlmont Academic Foundation, also known as CAF. Like you, I have an 8th grader who's currently coping with this weird and wild new learning environment that's been presented to us. I also have a sophomore here at Carlmont, and I have a daughter who just graduated in 2020, and I can assure you that Carlmont is a warm and welcoming place that allows so many opportunities for your student to find their niche. But tonight I'm here to talk to you about CAF. CAF works to raise funds to provide enriching, high-quality education for every Carlmont student. Last year, thanks to the generosity of this community, CAF raised over $900,000. That's a record for us. Those funds are currently being put to work this school year by funding 18 additional classes, allowing for challenging, innovating, and creative class choices that otherwise wouldn't be available to Carlmont students. It also funds smaller class sizes. It funds an additional counselor, which allows for more individualized attention for our students. It funds college and career support through a college and career assistant, one-on-one college essay support for our seniors, and extra opportunities to take the PSAT. It funds student support through our Academic Success Center, which includes tutoring. It includes teacher support through collaboration time, supplies, and teacher mini grants for any specific needs teachers might have. It also helps to fund the Biotech Institute here at Carlmont, and for the first time we created a flexible fund to help address the unexpected needs due to this new COVID-19 learning environment. This year, CAF is working to do the bulk of our fundraising in the fall through our fall call to action. By understanding how much money we'll be able to raise, either through pledges or donations, we'll be able to plan for our students more effectively and more efficiently for next year. So if you know your student will be coming to Carlmont, you can have a direct impact on their first year here by donating or pledging before October 30th. Please visit carlmontacademicfoundation.org for more information about what CAF does, or to pledge or donate before October 30th. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Good evening, 8th grade families, and welcome to Carlmont. My name is Tammy DePaoli, and I'm the head counselor here. This is my 21st year at Carlmont, and so I can let you know that I truly believe that your student's going to get an excellent education here at Carlmont. Wanted to let you know a little bit about our counseling department. We do have 9 full-time counselors. 8 of us are our traditional counselors with caseloads assigned to us. We do adhere to the American School Counseling Association national model, where we're not just academic counselors, although we definitely do academic counseling. We also do college and career counseling, as well as personal social counseling. So we really want to get to know your student over the next 4 years and be able to help advise them as they go through school and they choose their classes and they plan for their post-secondary goals. We are very lucky to have 8 counselors at a high school with 2,200 students. We're very fortunate that our Carlmont Academic Foundation has granted us an additional counselor to make our caseload smaller so that we can reach our goals of really getting to know your students as best as possible, even during these crazy COVID times. Our last counselor is our intervention counselor. Her name is Teresa Torres, and she works with students who are most at risk. So maybe your student isn't engaged in school, particularly right now with the COVID virus. Maybe your student doesn't have an interest in school and just needs some help getting motivated to come back to school. She also runs some wonderful groups for students. And so she is our go-to girl when we are having some additional challenges with students. So she's a wonderful resource. Finally, in our office, I wanted to let you know about our college and career assistant, Nina Razor, who is amazing. She's also funded by our Carlmont Academic Foundation, so thank you again to them. And she runs our college center. So she does everything college related. She sends out emails, she attends conferences, she arranges for multiple college representatives to come visit. I think we have about 60 now, even in the COVID pandemic. So we're doing online colleges. And our goal really is to have students be exposed to a variety of colleges. So we want them to see private colleges, public colleges, UC, CSUs, out of state. And so our focus, since her position was created several years ago, was really to give students a exposure to all the varieties of colleges available. So we're very excited about her position. She's another wonderful resource. So again, welcome to Carlmont. We hope to see your students next fall, and hope everyone's taking care during these crazy times. All right, bye-bye.
Good evening, my name is Rosa Argalusa, and I am the World Language Department Chair at Carlmont High School. We offer 3 programs: French, Chinese, and Spanish program. In all of them, we offer from level 1 until level 4. We also have level 3 honors class. Our highest level is the AP Language and Culture. Something important to mention, our Chinese program is totally focused on culture, events. We have our Chinese New Year learning event that involves parents and students. We also have the Chinese club that they practice the Chinese calligraphy, celebration of holidays. In our French program, all students on French classes from level 1 until AP, they always participate on the French national exam. For the Spanish, we also have the national Spanish exam being offered for the 3 honors class. Something important to mention is that Carlmont has an opportunity and the privilege to have a language computer lab. This is an important place where our students perform and practice their listening activities, their audio recordings, partner conversations, teacher interviews. So Carlmont is the only one that has the language computer lab. Something important that I want to mention is also the seal of biliteracy. The seal of biliteracy is a recognition, and the recognition is being offered for our seniors who have completed 4 years of the same language during their high school education. The seal of biliteracy has 3 elements: the actual gold seal that is going to be on their high school diploma and is coming from the California Department of Education. Then they also get the certificate that is coming from the San Mateo County Office of Education and the actual medal that is from our school district. Thank you so much, and I hope to see your kids at Carlmont High School.
Hello, I am Patrick Smith, Athletic Director at Carlmont High School, presenting to you guys about 8th grade transition. First thing I'm going to talk about is physical education. Every incoming ninth grader must take PE. It's called PE 1. After that, there are a couple options they have as sophomores, juniors, and seniors in order to fill the 2-year requirement for PE to graduate from Carlmont. As a sophomore, junior, and senior, they could take weight training, they could take dance, which would include intermediate dance or advanced dance, or they could take PE 2. The other option for satisfying the physical education requirement would be to participate in at least one season of sport as a sophomore, junior, and senior. So a total of 3 seasons of sport would count as a second year of PE. Please note that students freshman year do not receive PE credit for participating in sports, and they must participate in PE their freshman year. They can only receive PE credit as a sophomore, junior, or senior for playing a sport. The next thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is our athletic offerings. We have a lot of different athletics starting in the fall with the boys cross country, football, water polo, the girls tennis, cross country, golf, volleyball, and water polo. In the winter, we offer basketball, soccer, and wrestling for boys, and also basketball, soccer, and wrestling for girls. In the spring, boys can play badminton, baseball, golf, lacrosse, swimming, tennis, track and field, and volleyball. The girls can play badminton, lacrosse, softball, swimming, track and field. Also note that cheerleading is a year-round sport at Carlmont. That is for boys or girls. A little bit different this year due to COVID-19. This year, our Season 1 sports is what they're calling, do not start December 14th, and our Season 2 sports do not start until February 22nd. I always like to end this presentation by inviting you and your student to come out to a Carlmont athletic event. They're great community events, a lot of people attending, and it's a great way for your students to see what Carlmont High School is all about. Please check our Carlmont Athletics website for the schedule for football games. Basketball games are usually attended by a lot of people in the community and very fun to play, but you could come out to see any of our sports games at any time this year. Again, you're going to want to check the Carlmont Athletics website for any and all information. Thank you very much, and say bye to George on your way out.
Hi, my name is Genevieve Tepp. I'm the choir director at Carlmont High School and the Performing Arts Chair, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an overview of the arts program at Carlmont. So we have 2 wings of the program, basically. There's performing arts side and visual arts side. Performing arts includes like music and drama and dance, visual arts, ceramics, painting, photography, digital arts, that sort of things. So for the instrumental music program, most of the 8th graders will find information out through their 8th grade music teachers on how to get involved, because they'll be going from like TL or Ralston, Charter, whatever, into Carlmont through those programs. And we do recommend that all 8th graders do at least a little placement assessment, so we get them placed in the right groups. All of the information for auditions, if the kids don't get the information or if they're coming from another school, will be on the carlmontmusic.com website. And our faculty is Ms. Jordan Webster, Mr. Brian Switzer. The vocal music program, which is what I teach choir. First year students do not need to do audition. I actually don't expect first year kids to do an audition. They'll be placed either in Highlanders or Women's Choir. Those are the first year groups. They're both great. Students with significant experience may choose to do an audition if they want to. And that information will go up online in the spring at carlmontchoirs.com. My name is Genevieve Tepp, the faculty there. For Drama 1 and 2, Mrs. Nancy Martin is our drama teacher. To get involved, freshmen don't need to audition. They could just sign up for Drama 1. But experienced actors could audition for Drama 2, emailing Mrs. Martin to get additional information about that. And the plays and musicals are open to all Carlmont students. You do not have to be enrolled in a drama program to participate. For dance, dance is a little bit different in that all freshmen are enrolled in freshman PE, but then can take PE dance as sophomores. But if you have an incoming 9th grader who has significant dance experience and wants to go and do the audition process to see if they can go to intermediate or advanced dance as a freshman, that is a possibility. And you can look at the school website in the spring. We'll have a little bit more information about that under the Performing Arts tab on the website. Ms. Ribstein and Ms. Seacrest are both faculty in the dance program. And then we have a really great technical theater club. It's an extracurricular a club that a lot of performing arts kids are part of, as well as their choir, band, or drama classes. It's the Carlmont Technical Theater Association. To join and get involved, the kids meet on a monthly basis, monthly and weekly, depending on how involved they are. And anyone on the Carlmont campus is welcome to attend. And we always do announcements in the bulletin for those kids so they know where to go and what to do. CTTA runs the light, sound, sets, the curtains and all that good stuff for all the performing arts events for Carlmont and even a lot of the rentals as well. And the advisor is our theater manager, Mr. Jeff Horn. For the visual arts program, the first year courses that are open to freshmen are Art 1, Digital Arts 1, Ceramics 1, and Digital Photo 1. Art 1 is a little bit more of a overview, introduction to a lot of different techniques. Digital Arts is computer-based, obviously, and Digital Photo is photography, but we use digital cameras and lots of editing software. So the faculty, Ms. Kondo, Schulman, Vandermass, and Andrews are really fantastic. So I hope your kids find something at Carlmont they're really passionate about, and welcome.
Hello, Principal Cram here again to talk to you about the elective offerings here at Carlmont for students. We have Intro to Business class, which then leads into a marketing communications, and those are typically upper division electives and not freshman year. We have a Leadership 1 class, which is open to only freshmen. And then we have a sports leadership class, which is open to 9th through 12th grade students that is run by our athletic director. And then we have our associated student body, which is where the elected students for student government are, which is president, vice president, and then we also have the committees who organize school activities such as dances and assembly. Other offerings are journalism. So we have a Journalism 2 and a Journalism 3 class. If students are interested in that pathway, they should consider taking the Media Arts 10th grade English class. Then we have Psychology and AP Psychology, which is typically for juniors and seniors. And then we have Ethnic Studies elective as well, which is, again, usually where juniors and seniors take that class because they have more openings in their schedule and more options for electives later on in their career here at Carlmont. Then we have Yearbook 1 and Yearbook 2 for the students that want to produce the yearbook and want to help put that together. Yearbook is a great option for that. And then our computer science program, we have Intro to Programming, which is a mobile apps design class. We have computer science structure and interpretation, which is done in Python. And then we have AP Computer Science, which is done in Java. So those are our electives here at Carlmont, and I hope you're enjoying our virtual Parent Information Night.
Hi there, I'm Cindy Schusterman, and I am the AVID coordinator at Carlmont. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination, and it's a program and an elective class at Carlmont. The goals of the AVID program are to prepare young people to become thriving college students by helping them with the entire college application process. However, we don't just help students apply to college, we create a family along the way. Students in our program have a built-in network of support made up of peers, teachers, and staff. AVID students are typically students who earn B's and C's, but with a little extra help can be successful A students. They're also students who possess the drive and determination to challenge themselves by taking rigorous courses. If you're interested in having your students apply for AVID, please go to our Carlmont website and under Departments, click on the AVID tab. The links at the bottom of that page will take you to the applications. There's also a few videos on the page and more information about our program. Please email me at cschusterman@seq.org if you have any other questions. And I hope that you have a successful rest of your 8th grade year. And it'll be really nice to see you guys when you come to Carlmont next year. Thanks, and have an excellent school year.
Hi there, welcome to Carlmont High School. My name is Jason Selly and I'm the Special Education Department Chair. Tonight I want to cover 3 areas that I hope will help you understand how we transition your 8th grader to the 9th grade. The first area that I would like to discuss is in our supports and services. Most of our students who come to Carlmont High School are going to have an IEP in conjunction with attending general education classes. The IEP will be implemented with support from the case manager, the student, and the general education teacher. In most cases, our students will be working in their study skills class to help them access the curriculum in that setting. In some situations, some students will have co-teaching. This is an environment that is a support for students who we feel can benefit from having a classroom with 2 teachers. These 2 teachers will work together to ensure that the A through G curriculum is provided to the students in the classroom. 33% of the students would have an IEP, and the remainder of the students will be randomly selected general education students who are all taking A through G classes that would prepare them for college. Some of our students who need a little bit more support could be in our ILS program. These students are severely impacted by their disability and require a more contained setting to access academics. We also have a STARS program, which is designed to help students with emotional disturbance. This is a therapeutic setting for students who require therapy and support during the day and help them access the general curriculum as well. Lastly, we have a social academic class, which helps students on the autism spectrum learn social skills necessary to improve their functioning in the general education classroom while they're accessing A through G curriculum. The next area I want to discuss is case management. Your child, when they come to Carlmont High School, will have a case manager, just like they did before. The case manager will work with the general education teachers, the student, and the parents to help the IEP be implemented with fidelity. Lastly, let's talk about transitioning in the spring. This will take place in the spring when the feeder school and Carlmont work together to set up a meeting in which the general education teachers will provide us feedback about how your student is doing. The case manager that is currently working with your child and myself will work on a plan to ensure that all the accommodations or modifications that are needed transfer over to high school. Our goal in this meeting is to make sure that your student has the smoothest transition to Carlmont High School as possible. I hope this information was helpful, and I can't wait to see you in the spring.
Hi, my name's Jenny Lord. I'm Carlmont's bilingual resource teacher. I work with all students who have a home language other than English. I teach English language arts and development and work with parents through the English Language Advisory Committee. I look forward to meeting your student next year at Carlmont.
My name is Jo Cuppins, and I'm the current president of the Carlmont Sports Booster Board. I wanted to start today by welcoming everyone to the Carlmont community. The main purpose of the Carlmont Sports Booster Board is to support all athletes that participate in the 17 athletic programs we have here at Carlmont. We do that both by supporting individual teams with things like tournament fees, jerseys, and other sports equipment, as well as more universally by providing a huddle subscription, paying the trainer in the weight room, and providing cameras on campus so that spectators can watch events as they happen, even if they cannot be there in person. We do all of that with the support of our community. Through an annual fundraiser and a membership drive, we solicit donations from parents of Carlmont students. We also are supported by many local businesses in San Carlos and Belmont. For more information, I encourage you to visit our website at carlmontboosters.org. Thanks and have a great day.
Hello, my name is George Mastelier, and I'm president of the Arts Council. We're a group tasked with raising funds and promoting awareness for the performing arts here at Carlmont. Our primary purpose is to support the theater itself, funding the repair and replacement of existing equipment, and helping keep the theater up to date with new technologies. These improvements directly benefit Carlmont performing arts students, whether they be in choir or dance or drama, improv, instrumental music, or part of the CTTA, better known as the stage crew. Almost half of students will be associated with one or more of these groups during their 4 years at Carlmont. You can help support us by attending our biennial fundraiser, which is called the Performing Arts Showcase, which features performances by all of the performing arts groups. We hope our next showcase will be fall or winter in 2021. We're always looking for volunteers to help us on our mission. If you're interested, please click on the link below for more contact information. Thank you very much, and I hope your students' transition goes smoothly.
Hello, thank you for joining us for 8th grade parent night. I am happy to be able to talk with you about the science classes at Carlmont. My name is Michal Nozick. I am a biology and chemistry teacher at Carlmont. I'm also the science department chair. So at Carlmont, all 9th grade students start with a biology class. Biology is the first science class that students are going to take at Carlmont. It is a year-long class. The first semester is really the emphasis of the first semester. The focus is ecology. Students are learning about food webs, about cycles of matter such as carbon, nitrogen. They're learning about the photosynthesis and cell respiration processes. They're learning mostly about human impact to the environment, such as pollution, invasive species, and obviously climate change. So really the first semester is all dedicated mostly to ecology. We're also learning a little bit about carbon compounds and basically the building blocks of life and homeostasis, but really the emphasis is ecology. The next semester, the second semester, the emphasis is genetics and evolution. So throughout the year, we have many labs that we do. We have transitioned into implementing NGSS, and therefore we start our units with a phenomenon, and students try to figure out, they ask questions, make observations, and the questions that they have regarding the phenomenon that they observed are basically driving the learning. By asking questions, they are identifying topics that they think they need to know more about, and we learn about them. And as we learn about them, students are basically putting together explanations for the phenomenon. So the emphasis is definitely on students figuring out by working with each other, by looking at data, by analyzing data, analyzing situations, case studies, and figuring out what is actually happening. Of course, with the help and the support and the guidance of the teacher, but it's really an active engagement of the students with the material. So that is biology. Biology, we don't have a lot of homework in biology. Usually maybe you can expect half an hour of homework a week for biology. Really the emphasis is the learning experiences that are happening in the classroom. After biology, students are free to choose many different, from among many different options. Many students go in 10th grade and take a chemistry class or a physics class or a human biology class or a biotech 1-2 class. Really, there is no path and there are no other required classes. We meet with every student individually during every one of their years at Carlmont. Every science teacher meets individually with their students, and we talk with the student and we figure out what the students are interested in, what they would like to learn more about. Maybe they know already what the fields are that they are interested in for after school, after, when they graduate from Carlmont. So we work with them and we identify good choices for them. And then students go and meet with their counselors and make their final decision regarding which class to take. Basically, they have a lot of options and there is no really clear path. So 10th grade student can decide to take a chemistry class, and if they like it, they can continue in 11th grade to take an AP chemistry class. But if they decide that they don't really want to continue with chemistry, that they basically had 1 year and that's enough for them, and they want to take a different class, science class, the next year, then they are very welcome to. They can take a physics class or human bio or biotech 1-2 classes. All the choices are open for them. There really are only very few guidelines regarding the selection of classes. One is taking into account any prerequisites, like math prerequisites that exist for some of the classes. And the other one is a guideline that says basically that students cannot take an AP class if they have not taken the regular class first. So, for example, you cannot take AP chemistry before taking a chemistry class. But those are really the only guidelines that we have, prerequisites and not taking an AP before a regular class. So, as I mentioned, students have a lot of choices and they don't necessarily have to go in your path. So, for example, they can take a biotech 1-2 class. Our biotech classes are very hands-on, lab skill-based classes. Students engage in lab work almost every day. They do a lot of labs and they get to know how to use a lot of the equipment that is part of a biotechnology lab. So if they like it, 1 year, they can definitely continue the next year and take a biotech 3-4 class. But they don't have to. They can say after 1 year of biotech that they are done and they want to take, let's say, human bio instead. One thing to keep in mind is that the UC system and the California State University system, they want students to take 1 life science class and 1 physical science class, at least during high school. So biology, human biology, and biotech classes are all part of the life science class, and life science classes and chemistry and physics are the physical science. So we encourage students to take at least 1 physical science class during high school if they are interested in going to a CSU or UC. Obviously, they can take more. That's really another important part to keep in mind. Regarding the BTI, there is something that is called the Biotechnology Institute at Carlmont. This is a small learning community within our school, and this starts at 10th grade. So this is meant for 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students. If students are really interested in the hands-on lab work, then they can choose to join this small learning community. And basically, they will be studying with a small cohort of students and taking some classes with a science theme. So specifically, the English classes and the social science classes have a science theme to it. So in English, for example, students can be reading a book. If they are in the BTI Institute, they will be reading a science themed book. Or social studies, when they're studying about a certain period in history, they will be focusing on the the major scientific events that happened or discoveries that happened during that time frame. So this is the BTI. You don't have to worry about it right now because, as I mentioned, this only starts at 10th grade. So during 9th grade, the biology teachers, we meet with all the freshman students and we tell them about this opportunity, and then students who are interested can explore it further, talk with the teachers in the BTI Institute, learn more about it, and then decide if this is something that they are interested in and they can apply. There is an application process, but we talk about that and everything gets, all the questions get answered and students who are interested in get to apply. So the other thing that we have at Carlmont are guest lectures. We invite scientists from many different fields to talk with the community. This is open to students, teachers, and parents in the Carlmont community. And scientists really from many different fields come and talk to the students and the community about their discoveries, their work, their innovation. We are really happy that we can offer this enriching experience for students. We are interested in students finding out more about possibilities of careers in the sciences, and this is a great opportunity for that. We had speakers such as a few years ago, we hosted a person from NASA who was in charge of working with the cameras on the Mars rover. And we had people who designed robotics for people who were paralyzed. We have guests who talk about fossils, neurobiology, all kinds of fields, chemistry, physics, geology, a lot of very interesting lectures. And as I mentioned, this is open to the community. That's it. Other than that, the last slide in the PowerPoint here has some answers to some of our most common questions. And that's it. We hope to see you and your children next year at Carlmont. This is a wonderful environment, especially for science. We have a lot of offerings and a lot of different classes. And we're looking forward to seeing you at Carlmont. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jason Waller, the Department Chair for Social Studies. And over the next 10 minutes, I will go over the scope and the content offered in terms of that department here at Carlmont High School 2020 and beyond. So the mission of the department, ladies and gentlemen, is to help your students gain economic, political, cultural, and historical perspectives to become active, analytical, and responsible citizens in a truly diverse society. Got a couple of pictures here that sort of represent some of the classes we offer in the department. The bottom left picture, John McCain and President Barack Obama, that would be government. The bottom right, representing East Asia, that would be world studies. And the somewhat depressing but real life example of the Great Depression on the right, representing America in the 1930s. I'd also like to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that we here at Carlmont High School, at least in the Social Studies department, I'm looking at you, science, are all highly qualified teachers. All of our teachers hold Social Studies credentials. We are a combination of veteran and new teachers, although to be perfectly honest, we have a lot more veterans than we do new teachers. Our newest teacher probably has at least 6 years of experience, so it's all relative. We are dedicated to the success of all students, and as a result, the vast majority of us are involved in student lives in more than simply a traditional classroom setting. Many of us are engaged in something called mock trial. This would be Mr. Gomez and Ms. Manuel. FOMF is something that the Bronsteins have done on campus since I've been here, and I've been here for 17 wonderful years. Many of us are involved in student clubs, which in normal years happens at lunchtime. Yours truly is the advisor for the argument club, which sees somewhere between 20 to 25 teenagers get together at lunch and create arguments. Some of them cogent, some of them laughable, but arguments nonetheless. Got a couple of teachers involved in coaching. Yours truly is a tutor. The other interesting thing about our department is many of us are now parents, and I can personally attest to this. I have 2 kids, one 4-year-old and one a year and a half. This has fundamentally changed what I do both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. And typically it's changed it in the following manner. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, keep it simple. This year and every year, we're self-assessing our policies on grading, the amount of assigned homework, in order to try to be as efficient as possible given the global worldwide pandemic. So this is just a graph of the overview of the classes offered here at Carlmont High School in terms of social studies. The top bracket, the one where it says required courses, Each and every student at Carlmont takes 4 years of social studies, 4 years of social studies. In ninth grade, there's just one level. It's life skills for a quarter and world studies 1 and 2 for the following 3 quarters. That would be second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. In 10th grade, it's a year of either modern European history, this would be the college prep class, or the advanced class, the AP class, which is AP European. 11th grade, it's US or AP US. 12th grade, it's Gov Econ or AP Gov and AP Econ. We also offer a series of electives. One is psychology, one is AP psychology, and one race, ethnicity, and immigration, which is sort of a fancier title for ethnic studies. So for the next 4 slides, what I'm going to do is quickly go through the content and the skills covered in each of the courses. In terms of ninth grade, you start off quarter 1 with life skills, which is in a sense health education coupled with skills required for high school and beyond. Really basic things are covered in the first quarter of ninth grade. 1, show up. This is what high school looks like. 2, these are what the classrooms look like. 3, these are the materials that you'll need to succeed in not just this class, but most other classes. And then 4, here are the health and sort of social emotional learning skills that you'll need to navigate, not just high school, but the grade beyond. Then the next 3 quarters of freshman year are world studies, in which you take a look at 4 different regions: East Asia, Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America. We introduce students to a whole series of analytical tools. The one that we like the best is something known as G-Persia, which is just an acronym that allows students to break down whatever the event may be, geographically, politically, economically, religiously, socially, intellectually, and my personal favorite, but never the answer, artistically. I'm looking at you, A and G-Persia. Obviously, we also cover content acquisition, and we work on writing and analytical skills. In terms of 10th grade is the first time you have 2 options as a student. And just to set the record straight, there are no prerequisites for any of the advanced classes we have at Carlmont. So it's entirely up to the student. It's up to the student in terms of their dialogue with their parents and also their counselors. And if you want it, I think it's always a good idea to talk to the teacher ahead of time. So in terms of the college prep class, modern European is basically the Enlightenment to the ending of the Cold War. That's what the CW stands right there. In terms of AP, yours truly has taught this for the last 9 years. It is 30 fabulous chapters covering, roughly speaking, the Renaissance from 1450 to today. Both of these classes, whether it be the college prep or the AP option, advanced content and skill acquisition, taught during middle school. Shout out to the vast majority of our students that went to Ralston, and also to 9th grade. That's one of the cool things about our department, is that we have tried to build in skills that are scaffolded from one year to the next, and they get expanded upon from one year to the next. In terms of junior year, you've got the college prep, US history, and then the advanced AP US. In terms of college prep, it's roughly speaking, they do about a unit of, hey, this is what happened from the very beginning of 1607 all the way up until the 1890s. And then from the 1890s, they move to as far as they can possibly get in terms of the current time period. In terms of AP, we cover everything. Yours truly has taught AP US for the last 6 years. We start off with the discovery, quote unquote, of the New World, and we conclude with the ending of the book, and the book was published in 2015. Both of these classes, again, advanced content and skill acquisition, taught initially in the 9th, built upon in the 10th, and then further crystallized and expanded upon in the 11th. 12th grade is very similar to 10th and 11th in that there are 2 levels, the college prep and also the advanced placement edition. Both of them focus on empowering participants to learn about our systems of government and our economy, hence the title of 2 separate courses, 2 separate semester courses. Both of them stress content acquisition and skill development, just like we've done 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. This time you do it in a different format in that it's not a history class. It's either a political science or an econ class. The non-AP version of Gov Econ traditionally uses discussion and seminar in order to, 1, encourage students to speak their mind, and then 2, to assess whether or not they're understanding some of the basic principles. Advanced placement is more of a traditional class in that it prepares students for 2 separate exams in May, one being the AP Gov exam and one being the AP Econ exam. Speaking of AP classes, there's always questions from parents, especially parents that have their oldest kid going to Carlmont. By the way, I've done this spiel now for 17 years, and I put this slide in a couple of years ago simply because I was tired of answering it off the cuff. So AP classes are college-level courses taught by Carlmont teachers in various subjects. They're located in all of the big four departments, and social studies has quite a few of them as well. They use college level textbooks. These are textbooks that you might see at community colleges or even in places like Berkeley and Stanford. And these courses prepare students for the AP test. This is a test that is administered by the College Board. Those are the same people that do the SAT in May. AP classes at Carlmont are also 5.0 classes, meaning that you get a GPA bump if you take an AP class. So if you get a B in an AP class, it's like getting an A in a regular or a CP class. An A is a 5.0, a B is a 4.0, a C is a 3.0, et cetera, et cetera. A score of 3 out of 5 on most AP tests may earn students, depending on where they want to go. If you were like me and you went to CSM and then you went to SF State, you're going to get credit for all of your AP tests. You can get somewhere between 3 and 6 semester units. The story that I always give parents is I went to San Mateo High School and I graduated in 1998. I took as many AP classes as I could there. Not because I was all that smart or definitely not all that good looking, but I passed all of the exams that I took. Then I went to, again, CSM and SF State, and I graduated from SF State in 3.5 years. Not because, again, I'm all that good. It's just because I took advantage of the opportunities afforded to me. Again, these AP classes are not for everyone, but if your son or daughter is interested in them, they're an opportunity to start college early. And as a parent, the without paying for it has a certain appeal. So Common Core and Social Studies. 9th through 12th grade social studies classes have embedded the big four from Common Core, which is reading, writing, listening, and speaking. If your teacher is doing what they should be doing, then students are reading either from primary or secondary sources. They're writing fairly consistently, and it might not be super formal writing, but they're definitely doing some writing. They're listening to what the teacher is saying, or a lot of times what their peers are saying in small group formats. And then they're also speaking. 9th through 12th grade social studies classes also have relatively standardized final exams, which are worth, relatively speaking, the same amounts towards all students' spring and fall semester grades. When we introduced this a couple of years ago, we actually had the same test for different classes, and then we figured out that that was not a great idea because students talk. So now we just have the same structure of tests. The questions are different, the prompts are different, but the structure is the same, and the value is the same. We also, as social studies teachers, regularly meet during the year in order to share resources like assessments. Hey, I need some quiz questions on the French Revolution. Do you have them? Great. Here's my stuff on the Industrial Revolution. Fabulous. Project ideas, policies, share best practices related to classroom management, instructional strategies, student engagement. To be perfectly honest, we're doing this quite a bit this year because of distance learning. We're all trying to sort of fly the proverbial plane while we're building it at the same time and having 35 incredibly bright students stare at us via the prism that is Zoom. So it is a work in progress, and please bear with us. The overview of classes offered, once again, the required classes are on top. The advanced options are right there beginning in 10th grade, and the elective classes are right here. Note that the elective classes can only be taken in 11th and 12th, 11th and 12th, 11th and 12th. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope you've enjoyed this fabulous presentation. I've enjoyed giving it for the 17th year, although this was the first time I've done so remotely in the privacy of my own home. If you have any questions, my first name is Jason. My last name is Waller. I'm, again, the Social Studies Department Chair at Carlmont High School. My email is jwaller@seq.org. Feel free to shoot me an email, and I'll do my best to get back to you in a couple of days. Have a very wonderful day.
Hello and welcome to Parent Information Night. My name is Justin Reisner. I am the English Department Chair, and I'm here to talk to you about the English program. And I want to spend a little bit of time going over our entire 4-year plan, but also get into some specifics about what we're going to do at 9th grade. The first thing I want to emphasize is that a lot of what we do in English classes is based upon what has been done in previous years. Reading, writing, speaking and listening, critical analysis, critical thinking. These are all things that the students have been working on for their entire middle school and even before careers. So what we do is we kind of introduce a little more complexity and a little more depth in all of those things. Another thing, before we get too deep into it, I just want to make sure everyone is aware that we do have summer reading at our school district. And currently, what we do for our summer reading is we have an election as a student body and select one book for the entire student body to read at the same time. We don't have that yet. We will make sure that you and your feeder schools all know what that is once we know. If your students are going into advanced English, there is a mandatory summer reading book, and that's Of Mice and Men. So over the 4 years, students will be kind of moved into different programs, kind of based on what their skill level is and where they're ready to learn. And we want to put people in the spot where they can have the greatest amount of growth. Nobody is locked into any particular program. So let me talk to you about all of these things. So within ninth grade, there are 5 different levels, depending on their test scores, and we want to make sure to give people the amount of support they need. And we also offer advanced English classes for students who are looking for a little more challenging pace. Now in 10th grade, we still have all those different levels, but we also have a couple of there's like pseudo electives. They still count for English class, but they're introductions into different pathways that we have within the school. One thing that makes Carlmont so cool is that students can kind of tailor their education a little bit to what they're interested in pursuing. So for example, in addition to traditional offering, the vanilla flavored English classes, students can opt into the biotech English program, which is, we call that BTI English. They can also opt into the media arts English pathway, which is the one that kind of vectors into journalism. Once students move into 11th grade, there are a little bit fewer options. We still have the advanced classes. That is the first class in 11th grade where the advanced English class is worth that 5 points on the GPA, which I know certain people are very excited about and others are overly excited about, I'd say. We still have the BTI English program in there, and we still have support classes for those who need it. And then within 12th grade, what we do is we don't have a traditional flavored English course that's just reading text and analyzing texts. We've actually adopted something called the expository reading and writing curriculum. And with that curriculum, it's developed in conjunction with the CSUs, the California State Universities, to ensure that students who graduate have a level of college readiness, and it allows them to kind of start college at a little bit of a higher plane. The students who don't take that ERWC curriculum, the ways they could opt out would be either by taking AP English Literature or AP Language and Composition. So we have 2 different AP offerings at the 12th grade level. It is important, and I want to re-emphasize this, that students are not locked into any level. If somebody doesn't want to take advanced classes in 9th grade or 10th grade, they can still take them in 11th. You can still take the AP test at 12th. You're not locked in anywhere, except in the biotech program, because once you kind of opt into that, that's a class size reduced special program, and you're kind of locked in because you'd be taking someone's spot for that one. But beyond the biotech program, like, there's a lot of freedom to move up and down, depending on how the student's doing, how they're feeling, and how their other classes are. So the biotech program, it is smaller. It is focused on science-themed texts, and they work and collaborate with the other biotech classes, which are in the science and history departments, to really get a nice themed program that is really, I think, important for the students who, may not love English as much as the crusty old English teacher over here. Another program that I want to talk about is the Media Arts English classes, and I personally teach those. These are the ones that are focused more on media analysis, media issues. It gets into ethics, bias, and learning more about some media awareness things and social media. But within this program, students get to submit work for publication on scottscoop.com. Self-serving note here, if you want to check that out, scottscoop.com. That's where the students publish their work. And then the students who are in the media arts pathway, they tend to vector into the journalism elective classes, and those count as CTEs for graduation credit as well. And then, of course, in 12th grade, we have the two different AP offerings. AP Literature, which is for the people who just really love going deep and analyzing texts. And then there's AP Language and Composition, which is more writing-based, more focused on maybe some shorter works and really figuring out how to express arguments and write in that kind of style. So let me circle all the way back down to 9th grade, because that's really why you're here. So the 9th grade coursework is focused on, it's broad. I mean, we've got short stories, poetry, we do some analysis and writing structure, speaking and listening, all of that stuff. We've got the Romeo and Juliet unit, the Odyssey unit, and more. We are currently trying to look for ways to evolve that curriculum. So whatever we might have done in the past, we are looking to maybe diversify our offerings. So don't take any of this as the gospel or the absolute what it's going to be. And if you have any ideas, of course, we are open to any suggestions from our community as to how we can do a better job serving the needs of our population. In 9th grade, we do offer the advanced English courses. That is a quicker paced course. It's more focused on writing. Generally in the advanced English class, there's very few tests, if anything, and most of the grade is based on their written responses and their analytical responses. Because of that, the students should be ready to kind of work at that level. There's no guarantee that you're going to get an A in this class. And just because you got an A in an 8th grade advanced class, that doesn't mean you're going to get an A in the 9th grade advanced class. There is a significant, I think, ramp up between 8th and 9th grade. So if people aren't really passionate about doing that work, it may not be the best thing. You don't get a grade point bump for it. It's just, I know a lot of people take advanced English because the word advanced sounds good. That may not be the reason to take a class. Two of the biggest factors as to whether somebody's successful at that advanced level is someone's work ethic and their writing skills. And they should be able to independently work and plan their time. There's multiple chapter reading assignments. It's not a simple class, not an easy class. That being said, the students who take that class and who do want to do the work, it's a very rewarding, useful class. So it's kind of hard, and there's no like cookie cutter way to decide whether or not your student is ready for that. I think maturity might be part of it too. But we don't automatically place someone in either advanced classes or college prep based on some certain magic number on a test. What we want you to do is based on the recommendations of your current teachers and factoring in your ideas, we want to know what you think is the best placement, because we honestly don't know your students at all. Since I mentioned placement, the placement is kind of based on the 7th grade Smarter Balance tests. So you kind of already know where your student kind of landed within that. We have a couple of other placement tests that we will work on with the middle schools, and we're still kind of working that out with our special circumstances of 2020 and 2021 here. But we will work with them. But ultimately, we're looking for the highest of the 3 possible placement tests, and whichever one is highest, we kind of take that and go with it. So beyond that, there's different levels. So if the placement test suggests that somebody needs support or needs extra help, we want to make sure that they have that. We have classes that are honestly a 2-period long English class for those who need the most help. We have classes that are where we'll put a student in a regular class, but then offer a separate support class to help build up some skills. And then, of course, we have people who just have the one English class or the one advanced English class, and we're really working to make sure that whatever class somebody's placed into, they are getting the help they need to succeed at the highest level. So that's about all the time I have. I really appreciate you listening to me ramble on about English. I am looking forward to working with you, your family, and your students in the years to come. Take care.
Hi there, future Carlmont parents. My name is Matt Miskelly. I'm the Carlmont Math Department Chair. I'm here to tell you about some classes that Carlmont offers, how you get in those classes, like I guess placement, and then just some other things that I think are important that you know about our math department. I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. I am in my 14th year at Carlmont. I've spent my entire career here. I also live locally in San Carlos. I love being a part of the community that I teach. My favorite thing about being a math teacher is it's a class that a lot of students are not necessarily the most confident in. So my favorite part is helping those students see their success and just grow as students, become more confident as students, and that's what it's all about to me. So with that, let's get on to business. So I'm going to go through some possible, I guess, pathways your student could follow as a math student. Many students, probably the largest quantity of 8th graders are in Common Core 8 here as 8th graders. Next year they have basically one of 2 options. They can go on to Algebra 1 or Algebra Readiness. So they'll take a Pell Acement test we'll talk about later, figure out which class is appropriate. Students that go on to Algebra 1, if they do well in Algebra 1, they will go on to Geometry. If they struggle a little bit in Algebra 1, they may go to Integrated Math, which is kind of where Algebra 1 and Geometry meet. It's kind of a middle ground to help support them there. From Geometry, Algebra 2, or if they excel in Geometry, they might go to Algebra 2 Trig, but that's very rare. Probably Algebra 2, and from Algebra 2, pre-calculus or statistics. More and more students are taking statistics nowadays because it's, analytical jobs are very popular, and every college major you'd have would possibly have a statistics requirement. So it's good to get a head up on statistics. So again, Algebra or Common Core 8, Algebra 1, Geometry, probably Algebra 2, and from there statistics or pre-calculus depending on what your needs are as a student. One big question parents often have is or one goal I guess would be, I want to go to college. I want my student to go to college. To do that, to be eligible for college, you need to get to Algebra 2. So even if Algebra Readiness is where you start, what we have at Carlmont is we have a 2-year Algebra Readiness program that's basically just a slowed down version of Algebra 1. So by sophomore year, you'll finish Algebra 1. You still have the opportunity to go to Geometry and then to Algebra 2 as a senior. making you college eligible. So just know, regardless of what math class you're in as a freshman, you can still be college eligible by the time you are a senior. So let's move on to the next one. So many students are also in Algebra 1 as 8th graders. If you're in Algebra 1, next year you can choose between geometry or geometry enriched. Now, parents always ask the difference between those. You're going to learn mostly the same things. Geometry enriched is really the class for the kid that math is their subject. Like students that really, really like math, geometry enriched, it's much more rigorous. It's all proof-based and faster paced. And it's just, if you like math, geometry enriched probably the better course for you. Geometry is the class that I usually teach, so if you go the other way, you'll be stuck with me. Geometry 9, we still learn a lot of stuff. Same, slightly different curriculum, not quite as advanced level problems many of the times, but we still learn the same topics and we're still prepared to go on to the next year too. Here are some choices: Algebra 2 Trig or Algebra 2, and you can choose either one. From there, pre-calculus or pre-calculus honors. One thing I'll point out to you, pre-calculus honors is the first math class we have that is a 5-point class. So most classes are 4-point classes. You get an A, you get a 4.0. Well, when you take a 5-point class, you can get over a 4.0. So pre-calculus honors is the first class that offers that. And from pre-calc honors, many students take AV calculus, which is an AP course, BC calculus, also an AP course, AP statistics, or regular statistics. And pre-calculus has all the same options, except probably calculus BC there. The difference is in pre-calculus honors going a little bit faster paced, and they cover a little bit of the calculus curriculum so that students are ready for calculus BC. You might also be asking yourself, what's the difference between calculus AB and calculus BC? If we divided the calculus into 3 parts, A, B, and C, AB would just cover those first 2, A and B. BC actually covers all 3, A, B, and C. So calculus BC is going to be a faster paced course. I taught calculus AB for a lot of years, and I think it's perfectly paced and just right for a lot of students. I also want to point out that a lot of times I'd have pre-calculus honor students that came to calculus AB, pre-calculus students that came to AB, and pre-calculus students often outperformed the other students. Also, all 3 of these AP courses, calculus, statistics, and calculus BC, are all 5-point classes as well. And we also often have students take like calculus and statistics concurrently. So students might go geometry, algebra 2, pre-calc, calculus, and statistics, so get 5 years of math in their 4 years. Finally, a lot of students also in geometry, same exact thing here, algebra 2 trig, pre-calculus honors, calculus BC. I'm going along the bottom pathway here because if you're in algebra 2 trig as a freshman, I really hope that it's because the student wants to be there and it's because they really love and are strong math students. So algebra 2 trig, pre-calculus honors, calculus BC, and we also offer multivariable calculus. That's the highest math course we offer. And again, students often take AP statistics, multivariable calculus concurrently, or sometimes they take statistics as juniors as well. So again, 5 years of math in 4 years. So those are the classes. Now, on how students are placed. So students as 7th graders, they took the CASP, or the Smarter Balance Test. Except your students didn't do that because school was closed last spring. So typically 3 shots to make it to the next class. We have the Smarter Balance, which we didn't take, the MDTP, or the Math Diagnostic Testing Project, and the Let's Go Learn. And basically, if they score a certain height on any of these tests, they go to the next class that they're supposed to. I do want to point out that, like the MDTP, I think it's 40 questions long, and if you get like a 12 or a 15 of the multiple choice questions right, it counts as a pass. So it's very possible to pass that test without actually knowing the math as well as you think. So let me tell you, you know your child best. If you think your child just qualified for algebra but should be in algebra readiness, you need to make that decision and make sure they're in the right place. So again, three tests, 3 opportunities to qualify for the math class they're supposed to take, except this year, hopefully 2. I don't know exactly what's going to happen this spring. And then finally, let's finish off with just a few things. We think of ourselves at Carlmont as a pretty math-centric school, or at least the math department thinks of the school as pretty math-centric. And when school is going in session, we have a math contest that hundreds of our kids participate in. They come into classes probably once every other week and take a math contest at lunch. They go over those questions with their teachers, and they get some good problem-solving skills. So that's something worth checking out while you're at Carlmont. Acceleration, lots of parents want to know, can I take summer school to accelerate my child? Or can my child take summer school to accelerate, I guess? We almost always recommend against that. If you take a class in the summer that is typically over 180 class periods, there's going to not be as much learned. There's going to be holes. And if those holes in knowledge spread over the coming years, it can lead to poor performance. Like I said, Algebra 2 is all you have to get through. There's no rush. You can take math classes in college if you need them later. Don't add that extra stress and work. These are still kids. Let them be kids. And again, you know your child best. You know if they're placed right. You know if a class is going to be too hard for them, I hope. And you need to make the right choice for them. So those are some advice for you. Again, if you have questions, you can email me at mmiskelly@seq.org. Thank you so much. I hope to see your child next year at Carlmont.
Well, we hope you found this comprehensive overview of all that Carlmont has to offer both helpful and insightful. If you have further questions that were not answered in our presentations, please go to the Carlmont website under the 8th grade transition team parent information night and submit your questions via our Google form. We'll be answering all of the questions that come in a frequently asked questions section that will be added to the website after November 1st, and we will also be including the same frequently asked questions in our November Carlmont Corner. We want your students to also be aware that we have some great shadowing opportunities coming up, both in a one-on-one fashion via Zoom and also virtually in small groups of up to 20 students at a time. So keep your eyes open for information about that. We'll be having sign-ups available for that soon. We look forward to seeing you and your students at Carlmont in the future. Go Scots!